Dear parents, part of growing up is learning to do new things. For a young child, learning by doing is a wonderful way to grasp new skills and ideas. Children also learn from what they see. Mommy, I Can Learn Myself videos were specifically created for this purpose. Our video series contains 4 programs, each addressing one of 4 important topics: manners, feelings, safety, and new experiences. We know your children will enjoy watching and learning from these programs. We encourage parents to view these programs with the children so as to answer any questions they may have. We also welcome any comments you may have.
Mommy, I can learn myself.
Please get the tapes down from the shelf.
We can watch a teaching show. There's so much we like to know. This is a fun way to learn.
Hi, kids. It's me, your friend Oopsie. They call me Oopsie because when I was a little girl, I was always dropping things and always saying, oops. This is my little brother.
Hi, my name's Billy. You know what we're gonna do today? Go ahead, guess. No, I'll tell you. Today, we're gonna be nice to everybody.
Of course, we're always nice to everyone, but today, we're going to be extra nice.
Yeah, and you know why? Because everybody has feelings. Even kids like us have feelings. And nobody likes to have their feelings hurt.
Let's take a look at our friends and their feelings.
How many kinds of feelings can you think of? Well, there are many, many kinds of feelings.
Happiness is a feeling everyone likes to have. What are some of the things that give kids happy feelings, Billy?
Well, when they get a new toy as a present, when their mommy buys them a new shirt or a dress. And they also get happy when they help someone.
Happiness is the feeling everyone likes to have. But there are so many different kinds of feelings. Some good, some not so good.
There's sadness, surprise, fear, anger, joy, shame.
Sadness is a feeling nobody likes.
Brian gets sad when someone he wants to be friends with doesn't want to be his friend. That makes him sad.
Or when his grandmother and grandfather come for a visit, and then after they leave, he gets sad because he misses them.
Oopsie, once he got real sad when his cat ran away. He thought he'd never see her again. But when she came back, he was happy and surprised.
Surprise is a feeling no one ever expects. If you expect to get a surprise, then it's not a surprise.
Yeah, like when Jennifer thought nobody remembered her birthday, and then she got a surprise birthday party. That was a good surprise.
That was fun, too. Sometimes surprises can really surprise you, like when someone pops out from behind the door and yells, "Surprise!"
Oh, that would surprise me.
Another feeling everyone gets now and then, fear. Kathy gets afraid about things she doesn't know much about and things she doesn't expect.
Drew gets afraid of the dark sometimes.
That's because he can't see well without the lights on. It's okay to have fears. A lot of people have different kinds of fear. There's a fear of water because you think you won't be able to stay afloat. The best way to get rid of a fear is to face it. Mommy and Daddy can help you.
Sometimes when Drew gets nervous, like in school when he has to go up before the class for show and tell, he gets a stomach ache.
That's right. And that stomach ache is called the jitters. Everybody gets that way sometimes. It's like stage fright. Even movie stars get the jitters.
But you know, the best way to get rid of fear is to face it. If you're afraid of water, try learning to swim. And don't get upset when somebody tells you not to be afraid.
Anger is a feeling everyone gets when they get upset, like when Daniel doesn't get his way with things.
Or when he gets disappointed. When someone makes him a promise and then they break it.
Or when someone borrows Daniel's favorite toy and doesn't return it. That makes Daniel angry.
Most of the time, he doesn't get angry.
What do you think makes other kids angry, Billy?
They might get angry when they see kids hurting other kids or hurting little animals. That might make them angry. One time, my friend Roger got angry at my other friend Brian, and they had a fight. Then they decided they weren't going to be friends anymore, and then they got sad.
Really? And then what happened?
They didn't want to be angry at each other, and they didn't want to be sad either. So they made up with each other, and neither one of them could remember what got them angry. Then they were good friends again.
Oh, that's good. There are a lot of ways to control anger, you know, Billy.
Yeah? Like how?
Well, kids can control anger by keeping calm and relaxed, and by taking a deep breath, like this, Billy. Oh, that feels good.
Or they could think of how they might hurt someone's feelings if they got angry at each other. And they wouldn't want to hurt their friends' feelings. If they did, they'd probably feel sad about it.
And when someone has a best friend, that gives them a happy feeling, right, Billy?
Yes, having a friend is having a feeling of happiness. What other things can give someone a happy feeling, Oopsie?
Oh, a lot of things. Like when a girl gets a new dress, or a boy gets a new shirt, or someone gives another person a gift and sees them happy. I always get happier when I see other people who are happy.
My friend Bruce gets happy when he has something he likes for dinner, or when he gets to go to a party.
Elise gets happy when she gets an A on her report card. But when she gets an F, she feels sad because she knows she can do better. So just keep trying to do better, Elise.
Shame is the feeling that you get when you know you did something wrong and you feel badly about it.
Like when Debbie breaks the rules or takes something that doesn't belong to her. She knows it's wrong to do things like that. She doesn't feel good about herself. She doesn't feel happy.
When Roger was a real little kid, he made a big mess with all his toys, and Mommy came in and saw the mess.
Oh, she said, "Look what a big mess you made in here. I'm sure you don't feel very good about your room, Roger."
And he didn't.
But just feeling bad about something doesn't make everything all right. You have to remember to do better the next time. That's what's called handling your feelings.
And it's not always so easy. It feels very good, though, when you try. It's not easy for Gary to feel good about himself when someone hurts his feelings. That's why all kids should be nice to each other. It's important to think about other people's feelings.
It sure is, Billy. No one likes having his or her feelings hurt. What does Gary do when someone hurts his feelings, Billy?
Well, I know what he doesn't do, or at least what he tries not to do. He tries not to get angry at them. He would ask them if they would like their feelings to be hurt like they hurt his.
That's right. It's harder to walk away from an argument than it is to fight about something. Like if Lisa told Jill that she took her doll, and Jill knows she didn't take Lisa's doll, she wouldn't call Lisa a liar. She'd just say, "I didn't take your doll, and you have to believe me because that is the truth."
But, Oopsie, Jill would have to be sure that she didn't do the thing Lisa said she did. Nobody likes a liar any more than anybody likes to be called a liar. A liar is someone who doesn't tell the truth.
When someone accuses Liz of doing something that she didn't, she doesn't get angry and she doesn't keep her feelings inside herself. She tells someone about it and then she feels better. And when she does something that she shouldn't have, she admits it.
That's why parents and teachers always say, honesty is the best policy. It's not because they want to see kids get in trouble. They just want to make sure that we know the difference between right and wrong.
If Jay does something wrong, like take something that doesn't belong to him, he doesn't cry and say he didn't and hope everyone believes him. He's honest and he admits he did the wrong thing. That way, he won't feel bad about himself. You always feel better when you tell the truth.
You know something, Oopsie? All kids, and even grown-ups, are responsible for their actions.
That's why kids shouldn't fight with each other, Billy. When kids fight, someone gets hurt.
Even if they don't hurt another kid's body, they can still hurt their feelings. And no one likes to have their feelings hurt.
That's right. That also means kids shouldn't pull anyone's hair or kick someone, push them around, or try to bite them.
And they don't call each other names.
My friend's name is Pam. Just because she's taller than the other kids doesn't mean they can call her Stretch.
And just because David has red hair, kids shouldn't call him Carrot Top.
And Hillary wears glasses. Don't call her Four Eyes. That's not nice.
You wouldn't want other kids to call you names, would you?
I know I wouldn't. So don't call other kids names. That hurts their feelings.
All kids throughout the world have feelings.
Just because some kids are different from yourself doesn't mean they don't have the same feelings you do.
That's what makes the world go around, Oopsie. Unity.
That's right, Billy. Unity means everyone's a separate person who's joined with others by the same feelings.
Kids in Asia, Europe and Australia, Africa and South America. Kids everywhere are all different, and yet, well, we all have the same feelings.
We all like some of the same things, too.
All kids like to have fun and learn new things. Learning new things is one of the most important things that kids have in common.
Even kids on your own block, who may be different from you, have the same feelings.
When new kids move into a new neighborhood, well, they may be strangers, but that's only because no one knows them yet.
That's why kids should make friends with kids who are new, kids who are different. That way, everyone gets to know each other better.
You mean like Charlie? He's one of my best friends because we like the same things.
That's his sister Susan. She's one of my best friends because we like the same things, too.
One day, Oopsie, two new kids moved into town. Their names are Ben and Becky.
They go to the same school we do.
And they were nice kids, so we made friends with them.
And our best friends, Charlie and Susan, got angry at Ben and Becky because they were new and because we made friends with them.
Just because Oopsie and I were friendly to Ben and Becky, Charlie and Susan got jealous. Jealousy is not a good feeling to have.
No, it is not a good feeling to have, Billy. Charlie and Susan decided if they weren't only our friends, they wouldn't want us for friends at all. They got jealous. That means they feel left out if they don't get all the attention.
Jealousy is a feeling that can ruin a friendship.
We told Charlie and Susan that it's nice when you're friendly to new kids, when they come to a new neighborhood and a new school.
That way they feel welcomed. We told Charlie and Susan that if they had to move to a new town and go to a new school, they'd want kids there to be nice to them.
I told Susan that I still wanted to be her friend, too. I told her that Becky and her and I liked some of the same things so the three of us could all be good friends.
And I said the same thing to Ben.
So, Charlie and Susan introduced themselves to Ben and Becky, and then they said they were sorry for being unfriendly.
And then the four of them and Oopsie and me all became best friends. We played fun games together all the time.
That's the nicest way, when all kids get along together.
Sometimes even when you don't say something mean to someone, like right to their face, you can still hurt their feelings.
Yes, like when you talk about them behind their back.
Or if you tell secret stories and not let them in on it.
Even though you whisper something to another person, they'll know you're hiding something from them.
And they'll feel bad because, well, they're not in on it. And they'll feel left out. Or they might think you're talking about them.
There are many things you can share with other kids.
Scott says it's always nice to share things with other kids.
And not just things he doesn't like. He shares things he does like, such as popcorn and cake and ice cream.
Or his favorite toy.
One time, Larry's friend Jason had a sailboat that he liked, and he wanted it. He thought he could have it just by asking for it.
And you know what Larry said? Larry said, if you're my friend, you let me have that sailboat.
And you know what Jason said? He said, Larry, if you were my friend, you wouldn't want to take it away from me.
Larry should have said, I really like that sailboat. Do you think I could play with it sometime?
Jason should not say, no, Larry, it's mine, and you can't touch it. He should say, you can play with it sometime if you promise to be careful with it and not break it. It's my favorite toy.
Yeah, sharing is nice. I like it when my friends share things with me, Oopsie. What other feelings are nice feelings?
Another good feeling to have, Billy, is a feeling of accomplishment.
Accomplishment. That means that you're able to do something all the way to the finish.
Like baking a cake. Mommy helps Diane measure all the ingredients and tells her how long the cake should be in the oven. And when the cake is done, Diane feels good because she knows she made it herself, with a little help from Mommy.
And Karen and David's daddy helps them fix a flat tire on their bicycles. When they get older, they'll be able to do more things all by themselves, and so they'll get an even bigger feeling of accomplishment.
We kids can do it ourselves.
That's right, Oopsie. Having a feeling of accomplishment also means that you're responsible.
Responsible means that you're able to do some things all by yourself without being told to do it.
That's why Lisa keeps her bedroom nice and neat and clean all the time.
She does it without being told to pick up her toys and without having her mommy have to tell her to make her bed. That's because she's responsible, and it gives her a good feeling when she can do things all by herself.
It's when Heidi and Tom don't do the things that they were supposed to do that their mommy may scold them. It's not that she's angry at them. She's just upset because they didn't do the things they were supposed to do.
Their mommy is just trying to teach them to be responsible.
Heidi and Tom said, we're sorry, we forgot to make our beds.
And then their mommy will say, okay, I'm sorry I yelled at you, but you were supposed to make your beds in the morning.
And then they'd make their beds and try not to forget the next time.
And they make sure to make the beds the next day. That's being responsible. Being responsible is very important.
Controlling feelings is very important, too. Eric gets angry when he doesn't get everything his way all the time.
He should learn not to get upset. That means he should try not to lose his temper and do something silly like kick and scream. Some kids think they should get their way all the time.
Acting like that just means you're not very well behaved.
It's not good for kids to kick and scream to get their way.
Nah, that just shows they don't know how to handle their feelings.
Now, everyone knows all about feelings.
Yeah.
What kind of feelings everybody has, how to handle your feelings, and what to do when someone hurts your feelings.
Don't you feel good about yourself now, kids? Learning about new things like different kinds of feelings?
Let's play school, Billy, and ask some questions to see how much the kids remembered about feelings. It's okay if your mommy and daddy help you answer the questions, kids, but you should try to answer them all by yourself.
What should you do if someone calls you a name and hurts your feelings?
When kids call each other names, someone's feelings are going to get hurt. Do you think the best way of handling this is to A, cry because your feelings were hurt, B, call the other person another name, C, tell the person that called you a name that you don't like to be called names, and then ask them how they would like it if they were called different names?
Well, Oopsie, I would tell a person who called me a name that I don't like to be called names. That's the best thing to do because, well, if you call them a name, they'll just call you something else, and that's how you can get into fights.
That's right, Billy. So the answer is C. Now, let's talk about how you should feel when your best friend starts playing with someone you don't know. Someone who's new in the neighborhood, or someone who you just never saw before.
Part of growing up is learning about new people as well as new things. But if your best friend starts playing with someone else, should you, A, feel bad because you think he or she doesn't like you anymore? B, should you introduce yourself to the new boy and girl and play along with them? Or C, should you tell your best friend that you don't want to be their friend anymore if they're going to play with other kids?
That happened to me one time when my friend Rebecca started playing with a new girl named Sarah. At first, I was jealous, but then I realized that I could still be Rebecca's best friend. So, I introduced myself to Sarah, and the three of us became best friends. New friends are fun to play with, too. So, the answer is B. Introduce yourself to the new boy and girl and play along with them.
Oopsie, when you have friends, you might be able to play with your friends' toys. And they can play with your toys, too. That's called sharing. If a friend of yours asks to borrow your favorite toy, what should you do? You give the choices, Oopsie.
Okay, Billy. A, tell them they could borrow your favorite toy if they're careful with it. Make sure they know it's your favorite. B, say no, because it's your favorite toy and you wouldn't want anything to happen to it. C, let them have it and then ask your mommy for a new toy.
It always gives me a good feeling when I can share some of my toys with someone else. And I feel good, too, when they let me play with their things. So I would let my friends play with my favorite toy if they promise to take good care of it. So the answer's A, right, Oopsie?
Right, Billy.
You know, I never realized there was so much you have to know about feelings in order to get along with everybody.
No, you don't have to know a whole lot, Billy. Most of it is just common sense things that are easy to learn by yourself.
Just like our other shows. New experiences, manners, and safety.
That's right. All kids really can learn by themselves with Mommy, I Can Learn Myself videos.
Collect the entire series of all four Mommy, I Can Learn Myself Kids videos. Manners, safety, feelings, and new experiences. Look for cards and stationery items just for children called Mommy, I Can Do It Myself from Cards for Kids.